CPS, as you know, is the largest municipally owned utility in the country. And so we're starting to leverage that ability by also adding economic development to our discussions about renewables for the future. And so I want to applaud Doyle Beneby, the entire team at CPS, for what they're about to announce to you today. It's no oddity It is no oddity that our Vision 20, as we affectionately call it, marries up really well with the mayor's SA 2020. The SA 2020 is a roadmap for San Antonio as it looks at what it wants to be in the future as well. And so with that, I'm going to invite Mayor of City of San Antonio, Julian Castro, to come up and make a few remarks as well.
Thank you very much, Derek. And let's give one more big round of applause for Derek and all the CPS Energy Board of Trustees that have done a great job. I want to thank y'all for the professionalism, the vision that y'all have brought to CPS Energy. I also want to thank all of the CPS Energy employees and staff who are here. Raise your hand if you're with CPS Energy. All right, they do a great job making CPS Energy the most successful municipal utility in the United States. Well, this is a beautiful day in more than one way. The weather certainly is fitting of the occasion. It's sunny today, and I think that's also a metaphor for where San Antonio is headed. A few months ago, we gathered together to announce that San Antonio was partnering with several companies to hit right at the nexus between job creation and environmental stewardship. What we believe in San Antonio is that the two are not mutually exclusive, but in fact, they can be one and the same. We believe, and CPS Energy has articulated through its Vision 2020, that it makes sense for the ratepayer and for San Antonio to go green. But we believe that as we go green, we also should get green invested in San Antonio. That we should leverage the capacity of CPS as a large, vertically integrated, financially strong utility to get job investment in our city. That's what we announced for the first time on June 20th. And today we're pleased to be here again with a very special announcement. Over the last several months, CPS Energy has engaged in a meticulous, some might say painstaking, process of selecting a firm that could provide up to 400 megawatts of solar energy to our portfolio to get us to the 20% of renewable that Vision 2020 has set out. And we're pleased to announce today that CPS Energy has selected that company, and that company is OCI Solar, and they're here today. Let's give them a big round of applause. We're joined by representatives of OCI Solar as well as Nexalon, and I want to introduce the, I believe we have the President of OCI, Greg Bake, is here. Bike, and I apologize if my pronunciation is off. We have the Nexalon Chief Strategy Officer, Woo Jong Lee. And the OCI Solar Power Board Chair, Kirk Milling, is also here. Thank you all very much, y bienvenidos a San Antonio. Welcome to San Antonio. In October, I had the opportunity to briefly visit Korea. San Antonio is not a stranger to Korea. We actually have a sister city, Gwangju, who graciously gave us a very beautiful handmade, artisan-crafted pavilion at the Denman Estate that was unveiled about a year and a half ago. And just a few months ago, several of us from the city attended their Environmental Accord Summit and got to see the beauty of Korea. So we're excited today because San Antonio has done something different from any other city in the United States. We've created this special model for environmental stewardship and economic development, and this is that in action. This agreement is being negotiated now, but we're hopeful that at the end of the day, what it will mean is up to 400 megawatts of solar power. It will mean more than 800 jobs in San Antonio with an average salary of more than $47,000. That those jobs will be across the opportunity spectrum, from manufacturing to engineering. It'll mean the relocation of the OCI Solar headquarters from Atlanta to San Antonio. It'll mean $38 million worth of payroll in the San Antonio economy. All told, more than a $700 million local impact from this agreement. It also will mean, we believe, more investment in that triangle of innovation that we've talked about: CPS Energy, our business community, and our universities, colleges and universities. I know that OCI has already partnered with San Antonio College, and we look forward to more of those kinds of partnerships in the future. I'll also say finally that something special is happening in our city. As someone like many of you who was born in San Antonio and had the opportunity to grow up here and has seen the development of our city for many, many years, our city has come together to reach a point of momentum like never before. Just a couple of weeks ago, the Milken Institute rated San Antonio as the #1 performing economy in 2011. But more important than any single ranking that we've garnered is that now San Antonio truly is creating unprecedented opportunity along the entire spectrum, creating opportunity for the highest end technical folks and also for middle entry and entry level folks. That's something special in our city's history. I believe that what we have in San Antonio right now is a city that believes in itself, that understands that it represents the new place and the new face of the American dream, that is growing, that is on the right track, and the city that is willing to dream big and invest wisely for the future. A city that represents the greatest that America has to offer, and that's represented here today as well. Now, visions are one thing, and sharing a vision is one thing, but actually making that happen is something else entirely. That's the hard work. That's the skill that's required. That's the ability. And there are many individuals who have had a role in all of this, but there's one individual who, on our end, has been more responsible for allowing us to be here than anybody else. And that person is Doyle Beneby. Let's give him a big round of applause. Doyle has been an excellent and visionary CEO of CPS Energy. He has been better than any of us could ever have imagined, and he's been instrumental in helping us to chart a course for future success at the utility to ensure that rates remain low, that we draw economic development investment, and that CPS continue to be the gold standard as far as municipal utilities in the United States. And with that, I'd like to welcome our CEO, Doyle Beneby.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for being here on this glorious day. I have about 5 sheets with me, but don't be alarmed. It's big print and triple spaced. So, but I really, I'm probably going to go through maybe a painstaking process to make sure that we thank as many people as we can and acknowledge some of our special guests here today. But thanks so much to you all for being here. Really appreciate it. And one of the things that was really important to us, that is very fitting that this announcement happened at CPS and that our employees could be here really to be a part of it. So I'm really delighted about that. So thanks again. I'd like to start by acknowledging some special guests, and I am quite sure that there's some I'll leave off. But I'd like to start with some of our elected officials. I believe Judge Nelson Wolf is here. Thank you. I believe County Commissioner Tommy Atkinson is here. Thank you. Another county commissioner, Kevin Wolf, is here, I believe. Councilwoman Alyssa Chan and Councilman Chris Medina. So thank you all for being here. I'd also like to pay special thanks to two of our other partners who are here. As the mayor indicated, back on June 20th, we sort of started this version 1.0 of the new energy economy. Today is version 2.0. But Jack Roberts is here, the CEO of Concert. And of course, Concert is one of the centerpieces of our new energy economy. And Jack has a technology that's really industry leading. And we're delighted that you're a partner. We're delighted with the progress, and we're still going to keep pressing forward. Paul Duran is here from Green Star, one of our LED lighting partners. Thank you, Paul. And really a person that's been very, very influential, but probably in a way that's been very understated, and that's our city manager, Cheryl Scully. Thank you for being here. And just a note, a lot of the things that we're doing, some were directly tied to the city's involvement, especially LED lighting, and that's really one of the first things that we started. But beyond that, you really can't pull any of this off unless the city is hand in hand and a very vested partner. And they have been, and that's Cheryl's demonstrated that, so thank you again for your involvement and support of us. I'd like to acknowledge our Board of Trustees, Chairman Howard, already introduced them, but they really challenged us, especially recently, to really keep the community in mind in everything we do. And of course, you all know that's really important in a municipal utility, that without the community support, we really can't get much done here. And so we really enjoyed board support, and by extension, we believe they've kept our focus on our community so that everything we do ultimately has to have great community value. And we believe that today is a reflection of that. A special thanks to our mayor, who's really provided the overarching vision and really the vision for San Antonio as a city to achieve its aspirational goals. And quite frankly, I really believe that today is really not very much about CPS Energy. This is really about the city of San Antonio. And I think that is reflected in the vision that the mayor's put out there. I'd like to give a really heartfelt thanks to our CPS employee team, because we still have day jobs here. We still have to keep the lights on and the gas flowing and keep our employees safe, the customer and public safe, and protect the environment. And they do that on a daily basis in a very humble way. They don't get much headlines, but unless they do that very, very well, we don't get to make these kind of announcements. So really, all of CPS team, thank you very much for what you do on a daily basis. I'd also like to acknowledge and thank some of our other stakeholders for being here. Ramiro Cavazos, President of Hispanic Chamber, thank you for being here. Raul Lomale, Chair of the Hispanic Chamber, thank you. Melinda Rodriguez, President of the Asian American Chamber. Richard Pettis, President of the Greater San Antonio Chamber. Gwen Robinson's here, President of the Alamo Black Chamber. And also some special guests, and really at times we've been remiss in including them as really a key partner for what we do at CPS Energy. But I'd like to acknowledge Don Carmichael, President of the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, our local. George Farias and Paul White and the rest of the IBW Executive Board. Thank you all for being here. Mike Berg, Chair of Mission Alliance, is here. Thank you, Mike. We also have here our President of our Community Advisory Committee, Trip Borden, is here. Thank you. I'm not sure, I haven't seen him yet, but I think Bill Gunst is here, and Bill is really the pipeline to our retirees, and quite frankly, the retirees really play a big part in all of this, because there were some great decisions made in the history of CPS that have allowed us to capitalize on what's already built to do the things that we do. So thank you, Bill, for being here. Dr. Ricardo Romo from UTSA, thank you. And really, all along, they have become our technical partner, and I really believe that this opportunity is really going to really cross over into UTSA, as it always has, to provide some great opportunities. And one of the things that we hope to do is really to develop a pipeline of technical opportunities so that it sort of keeps some of our best and brightest here in San Antonio, so that when they complete work at some of our finer universities, that maybe they can step into some careers like we hope to get started with our new energy economy. Also, many would argue, as I would, the father of solar and perhaps the father of all this in San Antonio, the ever young Bill Sinkin is here. And also Lanny Sinkin. I see Mario Hernandez, Chair of our Economic Development Foundation. Thank you, thank you. And I think I probably covered everyone, but any other important stakeholders, I really would appreciate. I also see Joaquin Castro, one of our elected officials. Thank you so much for being here. This journey began to take shape when we started to pursue our Vision 2020 that's been articulated by our chair, Chair Derek Howard. And as we begin to step back and develop a path forward to reach our renewable targets in an affordable way, we also, in parallel, kept our eye on the mayor's SA 2020, which articulated the aspirational goals of San Antonio. And so we said, what's a way to really impact both? And I think that linkage is economic development, educational investment in San Antonio. So really, that's how we begin to think about this. And I think we're fortunate enough to have had some willing partners with some outstanding technologies and clean supply sources that will contribute to us achieving our goal, but also would allow us to bring some economic development to San Antonio. And today is the second iteration of the culmination of that. So, but this is all, again, a part of the greater aspirations of San Antonio as articulated and outlined by the SA 2020 effort. This process specifically was initiated in January of 2011, in fact, at a Clean Tech Forum, where we announced that we were going to initially propose 50 megawatts of solar to be built here in San Antonio. As the process unfolded, we really couldn't get to what we thought was the best value proposition, and concurrently, prices started to come down, and we got so much interest that we decided to step back and increase the stake to up to 400. And we went through a lot of great proposals, a lot of very attractive proposals, but they kept coming back to OCI. And there was really something about the OCI team in terms of their engagement, in terms of the clarity of what they were offering, in terms of the direct involvement up the entire leadership chain. The chairman of the entire organization came down to San Antonio to meet with us, and everyone's been really engaged in the process. So that really started these wheels in motion. And I think it's culminated into, again, what we have here today. So basically, the tenets of this agreement is, as the mayor articulated, the headquarters moved here of OCI Solar, the North American operations created here of one of the consortium partners, Nexelon, up to 400 megawatts of solar for what we think is a very competitive price for 25 years. This will obviously contribute to what we think is about, as the mayor said, about $38 to $40 million of payroll in San Antonio per year, $100 million plus invested in capital, and an ongoing basis of maybe $700 million per year in economic benefit to San Antonio. And so we are very, very proud of that and very, very delighted. And we'll also have discussions about future considerations and contributions to education investment here in San Antonio. So really a landmark day, a historic day for us here in San Antonio. And I'll say before I introduce the partners, I will say my last comments for a special heartfelt thanks to the solar team and the CPS executives, because I'm looking at two principals, Chris Euster, Amelia. You guys have done outstanding work. You guys have had 70-hour weeks for quite a long time now, and I really can't tell you how much I really appreciate what all the solar team and the executives have done. They are the reason, really, practically, we're here today. So I get to stand up here and talk about how great it is. Thank you, Mike. Bravo, thank you. So I get to stand up here and deliver the good news, but those are the folks kind of in the boiler room below the surface that have done all the things it takes to make this happen. And believe me, there are a lot of things. So thank you all again. And now to our special partners. The mayor introduced them by name, but here they are. I'm going to call up right now Kirk Milling, who is the president of OCI Enterprises, and really going to articulate what this means to them. And we're delighted that you're here, and thank you again so much. This is so big for CPS Energy. This is so big for San Antonio, and right now we couldn't think of a better group of partners to be engaged with. So thank you, and please step up.
Wow. First of all, I'd like to just start out by saying thank you, Doyle. Thank you, Chairman Howard. And thank you, Mayor Castro. Doyle sort of stole some of the thunder that I wanted to articulate as well with respect to the CPS team. For going back to summertime, OCI was engaged in the process with CPS and went through a long exercise and due diligence with the team. Then it was rebid and rearticulated in a slightly different fashion. And for the last, I would say, 2 to 3 weeks, the CPS team has been amazing in trying to work together, work with us, a lot of long hours over the holidays and so forth. And so echoing what Doyle said, great job from the CPS team, and a round of applause for them too. I'd like to just start by saying the city of San Antonio is very fortunate, I think, to have visionaries and leaders such as Doyle and Mayor Castro and others who have been willing to take a progressive and bold approach to creating this new energy economy and putting San Antonio in a leadership position to capitalize on this industry as it continues to grow, not only in North America, but around the world. As OCI Solar Power, we're honored to be here today, and we're proud to move forward with the City of San Antonio and CPS Energy as part of the largest solar economic development initiative in the country. For us, this opportunity is very exciting because it's really the sort of cornerstone of our emerging green energy business in North America. We look forward to working collaboratively with the local community in San Antonio as well as surrounding areas to build solar plants that provide green energy, create jobs, and increase energy independence. We'll work with local officials, community organizations, and leading environmental and engineering firms to ensure that each solar project we develop is suitable for the community and built in an environmentally conscious manner. This commitment to community and environment drives our mission to provide the safest, most efficient, sustainable, clean energy to the communities that we serve. And this is also part of the broader vision shared by our parent, OCI Company. In San Antonio, we have an extremely unique opportunity to achieve the shared goals of building community, creating jobs, and spurring economic growth with the 400 megawatts of solar power, which will help this region achieve its commitment to sustainable energy using leading-edge solar technologies. And for us, the economic impact we create is especially important because we're soon going to be calling San Antonio home. As this project will become a substantial focus for the company going forward, our leadership, as well as our engineering and operations teams, will start to be focused and officed here in San Antonio. And we think that's probably going to be upwards of 80 jobs that will be technical in engineering and operations. More importantly, we look forward to working with you in the transformation of San Antonio into a national hub for renewable solar power, a model for economic development and a source for many new opportunities. So So with that, thank you very much. And now I'd like to introduce Mr. Greg Beck, who's CEO of OCI Company.
Thank you, Kirk. Thank you, Mayor Julian Castro and Chairman Derek Howard, Mr. Doyle Beneby, and City Council members, and all from media and CPS Energy. And especially, I'd like to thank God and sunshine. Thank you. My name is Greg Beck, and I'm CEO and President of OCI Company. The OCI Company has been in the chemical manufacturing industry since 1959 and became one of a few major producers of polysilicon in the world. Actually, polysilicon is the starting material for solar energy value chain. To give you a brief overview of the company, the OCI Company generated about $5 billion on consolidation basis, and with the market capitalization of $5 billion standalone. And in North America, we OCI, we have been in manufacturing basic industrial chemicals since 1996 in Green River, Wyoming, and Decatur, Alabama, and Columbus, Mississippi. And the OCI, we acquired the OCI Solar Power with a great confidence that the U.S. market will become the largest solar energy market in the near future. Based on the belief, I came here, and as an ultimate parent company, will provide full support for this epoch-making project. I hope that our efforts will provide a great opportunity for the city of San Antonio to become the leading green energy hub in North America through our experiences and global networks. The CPS Energy's 400 megawatt project is one of the largest scale projects in solar history. For the successful implementation of such a big project, I look forward to working with CPS Energy and the city of San Antonio. Together, I'm confident that the project will be a great success. Thanks once again for inviting us to this meaningful event. Thank you very much. I'd like to introduce Woo-Jung Lee. He's a real anchor investor for this project.
Thank you, Greg. Probably, if you allow me, I will skip the greeting section, just to jump into the speech first. Well, I'm Woo-Jung Lee, the founder and the chairman of the board and also chief strategy officer of Nexalon. Nexalon is a part of the consortium of the project and will be manufacturing components used in solar system once the negotiations are completed successfully. I'd like to put a positive note on the future of this project as chairman board of the company who has seen innovations and passion working in this solar energy industry. Due to the San Antonio's government's policy as well as the CPS Energy's to serve its people by attracting more investment in the renewable energy sector, I believe that U.S. market is certainly a very attractive market for renewable energy, and the city of San Antonio is especially so. I sincerely hope that the negotiation for this project will be a great start for all of us for a bright future. Also, I believe today's commitment is only beginning of the larger scale development of the solar product manufacturing from this project. However, there will be tremendous support needed by City of San Antonio as well as CPS to develop the further to make the city San Antonio as a real hub of solar industry in whole North America. And I hope we can work more and harder soon together. And thank you very much for letting us to participate in this project. Thank you very much. And probably I would hand over this to Mr. Benavir again.
And thank you all again so much. We're sort of winding down at least a formal part of our program right now. And again, I want to thank you all for being here. Really thank all of our partners. And another thing that's not been said, but believe me, we've talked about it. Our partners are committed to it. But this is all going to be, I think our community is going to be very proud of the local opportunities that we offer to our local contractors, vendors, and engineering, procurement, and construction contractors here in San Antonio. So this is very big. We talked at a fairly high level, but this is also going to be very, very beneficial to our community. And the last thing I really want to say, I want to make a comment really to our community, to our larger community out there, that we're awfully proud of what we hope can become a meaningful a project for the city of San Antonio. We're very proud of what we think this means in making progress and the aspirations of our great city set forth by our mayor. But we want to assure you that, as Chairman Howard emphasized, everything we do is based on what we think brings benefit to our community. And everything we do is based on considerations at the forefront of affordability. And this project also represents that. So you have our assurances that that's always going to be in the forefront of anything we do. And as we move forward again, we think that you'll be awfully proud now, in midterm and long term, about what this means and the value that we have, that we hope to provide to San Antonio. So thank you very much. With that, I think that ends the formal part of the program. Thank you all again for being here for this historic day, and we'll move forward and keep the community involved and all of you involved. Thank you.